Jerry Renard.
All right, what's going on, my people? Welcome back to the Sn95 Power Channel. Well, we got to finish up this fuel system, and today we're going to tackle the installation part of it. So we have our -8 lines already made. We have to remove the -6 and make new PTFE -6 lines. Now we have our roll of -6. We have our fittings. And I think I made a miscalculation on this. I was thinking I would be able to run this line through the subframe connectors, but I don't think it's going to be possible. The issue is with how large the -8 fittings are. Now, I might be able to squeeze the -6 through the subframe connector, but the fittings for the -8 is too big. So I've got to pick up more of these insulated cable clamps. That way I can, I'll probably route the -8s on the outside of the fuel rail away from the exhaust dump valve. So let's get all this stuff together and let's get to it. All right, I kind of have an idea of what I want to do for the fuel line. So let's get this fuel line prepped first. So first thing I want to do is I want to get the nuts on here. So keep the ferrule on. Put that off to the side. And I'm going to put both of these on right now. So I'm going to have one facing this way. And then I'm going to get my other one. And I'm going to put it on the opposite way. So now I'll have both ends on. See? So this nut is facing that way, this nut is facing the opposite way. So now I want to remove the tape. So this is where I'm going to deviate from what some other people do. I'm going to cut it. And what most people say is when you do a cut, you wrap tape around it to keep the sheathing or the braided steel intact. I don't want it to be intact. What I want this to do is when I cut it is I want it to flare out. That way it makes it easier for me to slide this ferrule on the PTFE part of this line. All right, both my nuts are still on. I'm gonna get my cutters and we're gonna cut it, chop it. Now, last time I tried this, I used the angle grinder and I wasn't happy how the cut was. So I just got some cable cutters and we're gonna use this. So you really wanna keep this parallel on this cut because when that ferrule slides on, it actually sits, the ferrule sits on the PTFE. So you gotta try to make sure you get your cut nice and straight. So now the head of this kind of got crunched in. So what you want to do is find something widen it out. I think the ball head of the Allen works real good at doing that. All right, so we got that balled out. Now let's grab our ferrule. Let's try to spread this out a little bit more. But you see how not taping it worked out to my advantage. Because now that's nice and flared out for me. And so the taper end goes down on the PTFE side of it. And you've got to push this down. Like I said, there's a ridge on this PTFE line, on this PTFE hose. And you want that ridge. So on the inside of that PTFE, it sits on the inside ridge of this ferrule. So there shouldn't be a gap in that little spot right there. So make sure you get that nice and flush. That we have that on there. I like to put some WD-40 So I just push that flush, and now we can use our tool, slide this over, and then we start slide this up a lot. Now we can start tightening this up. Now this is where having a proper vise comes in handy. Okay, so we have our one end done. Now, what I'm thinking is I'm going to go ahead and attach this side to the fuel rail. I'll fish everything back through the other way, and maybe we can shotgun this and we can make this hose underneath the car. Let's give it a try. All right, so now let's go here. That looks good. That's it right there. All right, so I'm in the process of just routing the hose. So the Dash 6, I was able to get through the subframe connector. The Dash 8, I just kind of snaked around the subframe connector. I followed the factory routing up until halfway to the subframe connector, and then it crosses over from the factory. So I just went around the seat mounting point on the subframe connector and continue to follow this around. Only problem I have right now is I have this crisscross going right here. So with my Dash 8 line, I'm on the other side of this brake line, so I need to disconnect at this fuel filter and wrap it around the other way of this brake line. So my thought is, let's get a mounting point right here. So the only thing I was trying to do is just pull this line further in towards the center of the car. So I just use some zip ties. I think what I'll do is I'll have to get the car in the air. I have to move these jacks. I have to put them under the subframe connectors, and then I'll use another insulator and tie it. But I just can't get in the proper position with these insulators right here right now. So I'm just zip tying it for right now. So let me go through and use the ratchet and tighten up all these, and we'll put this fuel in and do a pressurization of the system, and then we'll do a start. Yeah, I think that's it. You know, now it's just sanity check, make sure everything is tight underneath, and we'll start it up. All right, so now I just want to look up under this car and make sure we don't have any leaks. Everything looks good up front. Line is good up here. It's gonna be hard to tell if anything is leaking up here, but I don't smell anything. Okay, I can see my new line right here. This is the return. I see the back of the fitting. Nothing's dripping off the back of the fitting. So I think we're good. All right, y'all, so that's it. I feel pretty good about where we're at right now. The car started. I thought I might have some issues with that coolant kind of slushing up, but everything seems good. I have to replace the timing cover, so I'll drain all that coolant out of there when I do that. What else? I'm painting parts right now, so let me give you a quick look of what's going on. Besides that mound of mess. So, I've got the valve covers off. I have the upper intake off. What else? I have the alternator bracket off. I need to take the power steering and the AC compressor off. And what else? So I've been having some, let's see if we get that in focus. I've been having some issues with like one wheel peel. So I got the carbon fiber 8.8 clutch kit coming. I've got to do that. Then once I get all that stuff installed, it's down to detailing this car. Now I've been working with the interior a little bit, and these seats, like I like these seats, and maybe I'm just being too obsessed right now, which I'm probably am. These seats aren't in the best shape, but I don't know. I was thinking about maybe going with some aftermarket seats, but as I'm talking it through with y'all, I think I just might leave these in here for this year. Tell me what you think. Like, they are the factory leather seats from '05 Mustang. They have some cracks in it. It's kind of dirty. I've been trying to steam clean them, and they're just not coming out the way I would want it to. And I was thinking about getting some seat covers, but you know, all this stuff is really starting to add up. So I'm pretty much at the point where it's only a couple of things I'm going to buy for this car going into car show season, driving season, whatever you want to call it. And we got to shift focus on the new Edge because we're still going to build that Coyote Buster. That's going to be a little bit longer project because money, and like I say, it's hard doing two projects at once from a fun standpoint. So I said all that just to say, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification. Tell a couple of people about this channel, because the more views we can get on this channel, the quicker I can do new content for this car. But hey, you know what? Project Kendra is drivable right now. This car is drivable. Oh, oil pan leak. I gotta fix that oil pan leak because we gotta get this track prepared. So a lot of videos this season is gonna be track videos. I'm going to, I'll do another announcement a little bit later on how I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I think over the life of this channel, when it comes to my personal cars, it's been more of me doing work on them and not a lot of action. So 2024 is the year of action. So make sure you hang around and see what we have in store. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me on this long video. And until next time, God bless.